In this video lesson, we are going to register our product microservice as Eureka client, and this will make our product microservice discoverable. And when we run multiple instances of products microservice, our Spring Cloud API gateway will be able to fetch all addresses of products microservice from Eureka and then load balance incoming HTTP requests between the running instances of our products microservice. Alright, so let's make our products microservice register with Eureka server as a client. And to configure products microservice as Eureka client, I'll need to add to it one more dependency to a POM.xml file. And to find that dependency, I will open mavenrepository.com and I will look for that dependency there. So I will bring in a new browser window, and then I will go to mavenrepository.com and I will search for Eureka client. And the dependency that I will add is Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client. So I will click on it, and then I will click on one of the latest versions and will copy this code snippet. Now I'll go back to my development environment, open products microservice, open its POM.xml file, and maybe right after Spring Boot Starter Web, I will add this dependency here. Now I will format my source code and remove this extra space. Alright, so the dependency I've added, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka client, and I will delete the version so that this dependency is managed by Spring Boot, like this. So now when I've saved it, I get an error message because there are Spring Cloud dependencies missing. If I scroll down, I do not have any Spring Cloud dependencies, so I will copy them from Discovery Server. I'll open POM.xml of Discovery Server, and first of all, I will copy the version of Spring Cloud that I'm going to use. This is inside of the Properties section, Spring Cloud version. So I will copy it and I will bring it into POM.xml of Products Microservice. Here is the Properties section. I will paste it here like this. Right? Now I'll go back to Discovery Server POM.xml, scroll down a little bit to Dependency Management section, and I will copy this entire section and I will paste it into my POM.xml of Products Microservice. Right after the closing tag of dependencies and opening tag of build. I'll paste it in between of these two tags like this here. Now if I save it, there should be no more errors here. So now we have all the needed libraries that will make our project work as Eureka client, but we're not yet done. Now we will need to add one more annotation to main application file. So I will close the Discovery Server and open source main Java folder, and then I will open the main application file of products microservice, and right above maybe Spring Boot application annotation, I'll add one more annotation, which is enable discovery client, like this. And I will need to import this annotation, and this annotation will enable this Spring Boot project to work as Eureka client. But we are still not done, and there is one more configuration that we will need to add to application properties file. So I will save this file, I'll close it, I can close POM.xml and this POM.xml, and I will go to source main resources folder and I will open application properties file of my product microservice. So in the application properties file of my product microservice, I'll need to specify service URL of Eureka server. So the application property is Eureka client and then service URL and then default zone equals, and then I'll need to specify the domain and the port number of Eureka server. So my Eureka is running on localhost, so I'll use HTTP localhost, and then I'll need to specify port number on which my Eureka Discovery server is running, and I can go to application properties file of my Eureka Discovery server and copy the port from here, or I can actually copy this entire default zone because I have already specified it here. So localhost port number of Eureka /Eureka. I will close this and I will paste this value here. Another important configuration property to add here is application name. Without this property, our microservice will still be able to register with Eureka, but it will be listed as unknown application. And we do not want that. So let's add application name property. And as a name, I will use products-service, like this. And this is it for now. There can be other configuration properties added, but this set is minimum required to make our microservice register with Eureka Discovery Server and become discoverable. I will save this application properties file, and I'm ready to start my applications and see how they work.